Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today we are going to start a new article which is different family and household forms, including nuclear, extended, lone parent, reconstituted, same sex families, families of choice, and single person households. So basically, in this article today, we are discussing different type of families and different form of household. So let's begin. What is households? A household can be defined as one or more people living in a particular dwelling. This definition includes families, of course, but while all families are households, not all households are family. This idea can be illustrated by looking at three different type of household structures. Single person households are where an adult lives alone either because of the death of a partner, the breakdown of a relationship, or through personal choices. Couple households consist of two people without children. Such households may include couple who have not yet started a family, those whose children have left home, often referred to as empty nest syndrome, those who have chosen to remain childless or who cannot have children. So according to this paragraph, we are told about what is household. So household is basically living at a particular place. You can say that a person, a lone person can even live there, then it is called a household. It is even possible that more than two people are living there, it is called a household. But what is the basic difference between family and household? The household is, you can say that there are three different types which can be included in the, you can, in the framework of household. So first of all, a person who has lost his or her spouse, one thing, and he or she is living all alone. So this is lone, a person living at somewhere. So this is household, one of the type of household. Secondly, the person who are living with one's spouse and they don't have children, they are not planning to start a family life, the practical family life. So one can say it's a household. And the third thing which is mentioned in the book is the household where the couple, they simply decide not to have a child, or to any reason they don't want to have children. So this is again the type of household. Again, in the quick section, I must say household, the single person living all alone without family. Second, couple living with and they haven't started a legal family. And thirdly, the people are the couple living together, and they are not planning to have children. One can say that they are not, they can't expect a child. So there are certain reasons, obviously, for remaining without childless. So Rosenile suggests that an additional category in this type of household is couple who live apart. These are people in a stable relationship and who spend a significant amount of time together, but they do not share a home. Some couples do this because work demands and different routine would make it difficult to live together. Other couples choose this lifestyle because they want to maintain some independence, often because they have demanding careers. This arrangement is often referred to living apart together, LAT. Shared household involve a group of unrelated people living together. This may be temporary, such as when students live together, or permanent, such as people who live in communes. So there are some variants on the two generation structure of the nuclear family. These included reconstituted other step families resulting from the breakup of one family due to death or the divorce. So I mean there are a couple of things I need to mention within a minute or so. uh, as I mentioned earlier, today's topic is all about uh, it's a household, the type of household and the type of family. So when I started about the household, I mentioned that household. What is household? uh, Person living together or alone can be a type of household. The first thing I mentioned before, it was a person who is living all alone is a household. A couple is living at a place, living together, but they haven't yet started the family properly. Again, it's a household. Thirdly, the couple who is living together but they don't or can't have babies is a household. Three. And according to Rosenile, I mean, he simply gives some more details about the type of household. For instance, one term which is mentioned in this article was LAT, lad is living apart together. So a couple which who are enjoying their relationship, having a lot of fun things, all like a family. But the thing is that they are not living together, but they are happy while living apart due to their career opportunities, due to work demand, due to there are so many reasons they can, due to certain reasons they are not able to live together, but whenever they find time they can live together. So this is all about the household. Different type of households are there. So this is, normally the last thing which can even include it in the household is living in communes, or like in hostels. For instance, people went abroad for higher studies, that they have to live together with different person, a different student of different culture. Even they are called household because they are sharing the same address. So this is household. Hostel life, or any like flat, they are living together from different countries. This is all a kind of household. So let's begin about this. Is all I have for the household. Now switch to the family types. The very basic type of family is the nuclear family. So what is nuclear family? Nuclear family consists of parents and their children, two generations. They have been widely seen as the most common form of family in modern industrial societies. uh, there's some variation on the two-generation structure of the nuclear family. These include reconstituted or step family, resulting from the breakup of one family due to death or divorce. It reassembly as a new family through marriage or cohabitation outside of the marriage. Step families may include children from both and new families. So, how we define reconstituted family? Sometimes called a step family, this involves the breakup of one family and its reassembly as a new family through marriage or cohabitation. So, one can say that if we talk about the nuclear family or the reconstituted family, it's all about the two generations living together. This is nuclear family is one of the is simply considered to be the most common form of family structure in the whole world. This is mostly practiced in different countries, especially developed industrialized countries. A more recent variation on the traditional nuclear family involves same-sex gay or lesbian couple. In the UK, same-sex couple have been able to marry since 2014. Some same-sex couples are in civil partnership, which give them some of the same legal rights as the married opposite-sex heterosexual couples. So one of the variants is, you can say, it's same-sex couples which are gay or lesbian. According to the rules and regulation in 2014, they are in a bonding like a civil partnership, and through this civil partnership they can enjoy the same rights the marriage couple have. And this thing extends to so many other countries, especially the Scandinavian countries like Denmark, Sweden, Norway. People are enjoying, are having the same rights like the couples who are having official marriage. So lone single parents family involve a mother or father bringing up children without a partner. In the past, this kind of family was often seen negatively as a broken or fatherless family. The adults may be married or unmarried. Many single parents family arise from death, separation, or divorce, but other form a decision to have children without being married or cohabiting. So this is what is, we have the lone single parents family. It's all about, you can say that lone, as in the terms mentioned, lone means to living all alone, without your partner. And there must be certain reasons to say that. Why they alone? It is possible they are decided to live separately. It's possible that as a result of divorce they are living all alone. It is even possible that one of the spouse, they lost their partner. So there are certain reasons to live all alone and raising their kids without. And these you can say that these families, our lone parents, are often called fatherless families as well. The next type of the family structure is extended families. Actually today we have a lot of definition, and you people need to learn all those definitions quite well, because you can say that according to the paper pattern, one can say that the very first short question will be from definitions. Extended families are a different type of family structure that take two basic forms. Vertical extended families involve three or more generations, grandfather, parents, children living in or close to the same household. Horizontal extended family are those with the branches within generations, such as aunt and uncle living with are close to each other. So I mean extended, as the terms mentioned. I keep on saying since I'm teaching, I mean all the time. Just you need to give a couple of seconds to understand what is the terms are all about, and most of the time, terms itself tell you this whole story. So it's extended family. So it means extension to family. So when we talk about the extension can be done in two different ways. Either it's vertical or it's horizontal. So vertical, obviously, it's up to down. So when we talk about the vertical family, it means people are living three generations together, like grand family, parents, and the kids. And kids are normally considered to be dependent on their parents. So this is all about, we have the vertical families, vertical extended family. Talk about the horizontal extended family. It's horizontal means it's so plain. So one can say that if you people living together are very closely in the neighborhood of your uncle, maternal aunt. So this kind of a relationship people family are enjoying, this is said to be extended, horizontally extended family. Next definition is matrifocal family. See, that's matri. It's all about matri. It's all about mother. Patriarchy, like papa. So you need to understand that the patrifocal, it are matrifocal. Matrifocal families are a female-focused variation on the vertically extended family. For example, a family, grandparents, female parent, and children with any support from a male partner. So matrifocal families are those families which are basically female-centered family. You can say that like maternal grandmother, mother, and their children are living together, and all of you can say the breadwinner is the female factor. So without the presence of their husband or male person, so one can say that those kind of families are called matrifocal families. Patrifocal, it's again it's patri like papa. Patrifocal families are focused on man. Both type of extended family, vertical and horizontal, exist in contemporary industrialized society. But Gordon 1972 suggested that the most common type is now the modified extended family. In this way, wider family members keep in touch both physically through visits or exchange of help and services, and emotionally via telephone and email, perhaps without necessarily having frequent personal contact. So according to Gordon, one can say that with the industrialization, with the advancement of science, internet, social networking, one can say that the most common or frequently practicing family unit is called modified extended family, in which all the family members are connected to each other. You can say that on daily basis or on weekend basis. I mean, through telephone, emails, regular visits even are possible. Living together, either they are living together or they are not living together at the same place. So if they are in contact with each other quite frequently, then the family type is called modified extended family. And you can say that it's quite easy after having WhatsApp uh, and Skype, uh, this kind of applications, social networking applications. One can have an easily connection with their family members. So this is modified extended family. Families of the choice refers to the close relationship that are chosen rather than being given by blood relationship or through marriages. Though many marriages are based on choice, they involve a legal commitment that cannot easily be ended. The term families of choice has been used particularly for situations where people freely choose to create a family like relationship with others. It was first used by Weston 1991 to describe how gay, lesbian, and bisexual people were using the term family for their social network. So the next definition is all family of choices. So I mean, with the advancement of so many gadgets, awareness, secularization, absence of religious doctrines, people are uh, not afraid. They don't have any kind of fear to live whatever they like to. So they simply do according to their will. So it is a very common practice these days that people have their own choice. I mean, if they live bisexually, they have the choice. Lesbian, gay, all kind of a relationship can be developed. I mean, and you can simply say, I mean, this is a choice. This is my choice. I would like to live according to my own will, according to my own choice. So once you say it's all your own choice, no, I mean, limits to the sky. I mean, do whatever you like to. So there isn't any hurdle, any reluctance, uh, or you can say uh, burden or pressure from government, or even it is not considered as much as serious pressure through religion that you can't do whatever you are planning to have in your life. So the next article is dimensions of the family diversity, including organizational, culture, and class diversity. So no, it's all about the diversity, and we need to understand how different areas, different society in the world have a different kind of diversity. This diversity can be seen like through cultural differences. I mean, for instance, though we are living in Pakistan, we are an Islamic, so-called Islamic state. At the same time, one can say that Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they have the same Islamic culture. But even though we both are having same religion, but still, I mean, according to culture, we are very different with each other. In Saudi Arabia, serial monogamy is quite, you can say it's practicing, but at the same time they are most oftenly engaged in polygamy. They can have four wives at the same time, but this can't be practiced in Pakistan entirely, because according to new law and regulations, one can say that even a person in Pakistan wants to have second wife. So it's so complicated and it is so difficult that can be practiced. So see that same different countries having same religion but different cultures. So it is even possible that we can find diversity of the family type, the choice of family your people trying to opt. It's always having some different kind of factors, and one of the factor is organizational diversity. This refers to the different ways in which roles and responsibilities are distributed within families. The diversity comes from different patterns of work both within and outside the home, and from changing pattern of marriage and divorce. Different in marital conjugal roles between social classes are discussed below. So organizational, it's organizational means we need to understand, uh, honestly, if one can say that, I mean, when we talk about the organizational diversity, we need to first of all learn which kind of class or social class you are living in. Obviously, when you belong to the middle class, it is possible both father and mother have to work together to educate or for a better educational opportunity of their kids. So in poor class, things are entirely different. It's possible that again both are working together just to meet the goals. But I mean, obviously, the education factor is far away from the poor class. And when we talk about the upper class or rich class or the landowners, they are entirely different. I mean, it is even possible that both mother and father are not interested in doing anything practically or personally. So they are running a vast empire. They are having a different kind of business. So they most of the time they spend their time in just having fun, merrymaking. So it simply depends which kind of social status, social class the family having. So social class diversity, O'Neill 2002 makes several observations about single, never married parents. When compared to two parents families, single parents are more likely to have working class origin. They are also more likely to have lower average income and to live in poverty than two parents family of the same class. While bean pole family structure are less common in middle class families, the average age of working class mothers when they have their first child is much lower. As a result, four or occasionally five generation families are more likely to develop. Family relationship also show high levels of the class diversity. Adult relationship in middle class families are more likely than in working class families to be symmetrical, an idea developed by Wilmot and Young to describe relationship characterized by joint conjugal role. These involve lower levels of gender inequality in terms of both paid and unpaid domestic work. In contrast, working class families are more often characterized by segregating conjugal roles, with the female role focused on the house and children and the male role on the paid work. In this situation, men have more power and control over women, and family rules and such patriarchal relationship are expressed in a range of ways from the threat of reality of violence to dominance through decision making. However, the extent to which gender equality exists in the middle class families have questions. For example, a study by Paul and Vogler found that men make the most important financial decisions in middle class families, where women make decisions about everyday domestic spending, such as food and clothing. So, I mean, just the quick review of the definition, and then I will skim through what is inside this article. Symmetrical families, relationship in which family roles are shared equally within the home. Conjugal roles, male and female role played within the home. Joint conjugal roles involve adults within the family sharing domestic duties. Segregating role involve a clear separation between the family roles. This traditional involves women having responsibility for domestic labor and men for paid work outside the home. So, I mean, we need to understand a couple of things. For instance, when we have beanpole families, when we talk about the beanpole family, we need to understand one thing. It's all about the middle class and the working class. When we talk about the working class, I mean, the working class women normally they get married in very early age. So when we talk about the working class, as they have their first child quite early, so it is possible that they can have 3 to 4 kids. One thing. Secondly, if they got married in an early age, it is possible. It is a kind of tradition within the family in working class. I mean, they keep on having the same marriage structure. So it is possible, according to Beanpole family, they are living more than 3 to 4 generations together. And especially one can see that all this happening in Asia, Far East Asia. One can say like China, like Japan, and like Korea. So people they are living are enjoying being whole families because they are living 3 to 4 generations together for a long time. So next thing we have, it's a symmetrical. Normally in working class, it's a symmetrical. What is symmetrical? It's all about the roles you both the couple have decided to divide. It is possible. I mean, they can simply, there are two different kind of roles we can play as far as the conjugal roles are concerned. First of all, it is possible, most practice in middle class, it is like, I mean, for instance, women are forced, are traditionally, are culturally, they need to stay at home and do the domestic tasks. They are responsible for the bringing up of the kids, and they're responsible for the emotional upbringing of the kids as well. One thing. And when we talk about the male members of the family, they are the breadwinners. They normally work paid employee, and they work outside the home. They are the decision maker. So there is a controversy according to the feminist approach that this is happening, and whatever is happening, like you give preference to male, so we are converting to male dominant society. When we talk about the male dominant society, one can say that it's all about the dominance. It's all about the decision making. It's all about the patriarchy. It's all about the practicing of violence, abuse, and it's like you can say imprisonment of women from their basic rights even. And this is one of the things we already study in nuclear family, that girls are the women are bound to live within the home, within the family, and they are not given the opportunity to work freely. So this is the thing we have in the conjugal roles. There are two things. The last thing I need to mention is that even it is possible in the modern civilized societies, one can say that by the mutual understanding, they simply decide, okay, for instance, if the lady has a good job, so she can work outside the family, and the male person of the family is not able to be the breadwinner, so he remains at home and he is the responsible from for the primary socialization. He has to work within the home, cook food, you can say, and bring up the child, which is necessary to do for the betterment of their kids. So Laurie suggested the parents of different classes interact with their children in different ways. Middle class parents generally adopt a deliberate parenting style that active foster children's individual talent opinions. So first of all, we need to understand middle class is really conscious about the work of the work, about the upbringing of their kids in a very better way, because they are the one who simply give their kids the central point or the focusing point. Working class parents are more likely to adopt a parenting style based around the natural growth. Parents care for their kids, love them, and set limits for them. But within these boundaries, they allow the children to grow spontaneously. Children generally negotiate institutional life, including their day to day school experiences, on their own. Laura claimed that this results in middle class children gaining an emerging sense of entitlement that makes them better equipped to meet the demands of the higher education and the workplace. While both approaches are child centered, the middle and the upper class can invest a wider range of family resources in their in the development of their kids. So I mean, this is very important point. The middle and upper class, they give some extra boost of confidence to their kids. You know why? Because once the kid have a lot of money and the parents are giving a lot of money to their kids for the higher studies, even they are giving the gadgets, they are giving their kids the awareness how to work, how to use different gadgets, and obviously the exposure to the outer world. So those people are those kids which are bringing up in middle class families or in upper class families. They are more confident, they are more confident to those who belongs to poor class families or the working class families, because they are not able to have such luxury, not that kind of uh, exposure of the society. So obviously they are a bit lagging behind while having a job opportunity. So next is culture and ethnic diversity. This relates to the difference within and between the culture or ethnic groups expressed in terms of attitude and the lifestyle. For example, those related to religious norms and values. The decline in the influence of organized religion, secularization among some ethnic groups partially accounts for things such as an increase in cohabitation outside the marriage, a decline in the significance of marriage, and increase in divorce rate, the availability of remarriage after divorce. So the cultural, it's very easy to understand the cultural and ethnic diversity. As I mentioned earlier, for instance, now we are far away from the morality of religion. People are most of the time we are living, as we are living in the global village, we're getting a lot of awareness, a lot of information through media. So one can say it's more, we are more personalized, our personal, to some extent one can say that it's all about the narcissism we have. I mean, we like ourselves, we just think about ourselves, we are not concerned uh, mostly to religion or the religious doctrine. So people are giving preference to cohabitation. They love to live all alone or with their partners outside the marriage. So obviously, if they are not marrying to each other, or not having, not tying the knots, so obviously there is lesser chance of divorce. It's a lesser opportunities of separation, to say that. But still, one can say that the availability of remarriage after divorce, it's simply, you can say, it has increased a bit. Why? Because we people are now, it's a very materialistic world, we are very short temper, and sometimes after having the 10 years of relationship, I mean, it takes 10 minutes to decide to live separately or having another partner. So ethnic differences are also found in, for example, family size, where different ethnicities have greater or lesser number of children, and extended family members difference can also be seen in marriage, whether this is arranged by the parents or freely chosen by the participants, and the division of labor, whether family roles are patriarchal or matriarchal or symmetrical. In the UK, Dale found clear differences between the ethnic group in relation to female paid employment, family roles and responsibilities, migration to the United Kingdom of firstly black Caribbean people and then people from Southeast Asia in the second half of the 20th century has led to greater diversity. Dale found the black African, Caribbean, and black British women were more likely to work full time through the periods of raising a family than other ethnic groups. Within British Asian minorities, Indian women generally choose part-time paid employment once they have a petite partner, but both Pakistani and Bangladeshi women are more likely to stop paid work once they marry and have children. So, I mean, this is one of the thing in ethnic diversity. The example which is given in the article is all about the England, is all about uh, the people who live in Britain. There are two different variations we have till now. First of all, it's black, Caribbean, or African, or even the black people who are living in UK for a long time. So they likely to have a full-time paid job, even if they are planning to raise a family. So they like to work the whole hours. They like to work with full time. You can say, one can say that even after having the family. But on the other hand, you can say that when we talk about the Indian, I mean, they decide to not have, they're not planning to have full-time job, a full scale job. They used to have part-time jobs. And when we talk about the Pakistani and the Bangladeshi women, they normally stop doing paid work after marriage or after having children. Berthold found the features of Afro-Caribbean families in the UK were low rates of marriage and high rates of single parenthood. These practices can be traced back to the West Indies before migration to the UK, but seems to be even stronger in the UK among the second generation. Are likely to the idea of modern individualism, which emphasize individual choice and equality of relationship rather than whether they are formally recognized. Higher proportion of Afro-Caribbean children than of other ethnic groups therefore did not have their father living with them. The father often have visiting partner arrangement where they have financial and other paternal responsibility but do not live with the children who are raised by mother, often held by the maternal grandmother. So this is one of the things which is, according to Berthold, one can say it's a very clear indication, especially the women's living in West Indies or Caribbean before they're migrating to Britain. It is clear indication that even before migration, one can say that, I mean, most of the women, they like to live alone with their grand families. Especially one can say that it's all about the patriarchal families. They are living with their mother, I mean the grandmother and the children. So one can say that this is seen even after the migration to Britain. One can clearly see that the women having the origin from Caribbean, they are having the same lifestyle, but you can say that a fractional change can be seen now. I mean, they like to live alone. They don't like to have in relationships. So this is the kind of thing which is cluster clear. African Caribbeans or Afro Caribbeans, the black living a long time in Britain, I mean, they don't like to have the proper family structure. And you can say that they normally live with their maternal woman. They simply establish the maternal family type. So in contrast, one can say that higher proportion of adults are married, lower divorce rate, lower cohabitation rates, more three-generation families live together. This is the thing we can often see in Pakistani and Bangladeshi families in United Kingdom. I mean, normally they when they are adult, they married. Obviously, they have a very specific time of brought up, so lower divorce rate can be seen in the Pakistani and Bangladeshi family, and they hardly have the cohabitation rates. This I have for today. Till tomorrow. Hope to see you again. Assalamu alaikum.